Good evening to everyone and welcome to today's session. Pankaj Yadav, Rohan Khan and many more who are all online, Arju Rahman, and many more who are all online. Please inform your friends that the class started. In all the WhatsApp groups. Now, Doc, I have at least half a dozen calls where some of the students say, Sir, बहुत डिप्रेशन है. Silly mistakes I did, sir, in the exam. I don't know what to do. How can I lose like that? So many reactions. Virtually, my job has become to give my shoulder for someone to cry. Even as a physician, I remember never we cure. Sometimes we comfort. Sometimes we palliate, but always we can comfort. That's the only thing I could be able to do. But I want to tell you that it is not today, it is not yesterday. Past 20 years I have been seeing the entrance exam, including my own failure, miserable failure, following next year emerging as the topper. Failure is an inevitable part, especially with 19 subjects. If you are missing the focus, if you had other priorities at hand, we are all in our adult life. We are not school-going kids, right? So there may be your sister's marriage, there may be a grandpa admitted into hospital, for somebody parent admitted in hospital. There may be a number of things that might have made some of us to not be able to focus last year. But we should put an end to the mourning at some point and look at the sunshine of the tomorrow. So that's what I like to tell you all. Bhargava is saying, Bhogi Subhakangshalu. Very happy Sankranti to all, which is a harvest festival. So, I wanted to start the today's session by telling you all guys that let us look at some questions. I never want to discuss what is past immediately because it unnecessarily gives a post-traumatic stress. There's no point in mourning on something that we don't deserve, that sadness. But the yesterday's examiner's question paper and the pattern should give us a guideline towards our sharpening the strategy. That's what I like to tell all of you. Now let us have the look at some of the questions. Just I'm trying to reinforce confidence and a good feeling. My intention is not to bulldoze you with the questions and already your bereaved hearts, no point in feeling more sad. But let us check. How close we are with what the examiner's strategy is, how far we are. We are not at all far. We are not at all far. Some of you have been with me since last entire year, some of you have accompanied these Chai Pe Charcha live online sessions with Dr. Murli Bharadwaj. Some of you have attended the full-scale grant test. How many times we had been emphasizing and how closely the examiner had been giving and focusing on the same topics. Not only me, any teacher who had been mentoring the students for a period of time, who himself cracked the entrance exam, knows it very well. It's not that it is a magic that a particular teacher can deliver. Any teacher, most of the teachers who are all individually experts in their own subject and have seen thousands of questions and many more thousands of students, know very well what examiner wants and what you need to know when you go to the exam. So let us look how easy it is to win this game of the NEET PG or AIIMS or PGI exam if you know what exactly to read. B cells are induced to produce immunoglobulin E, which is the interleukin that stimulates. How many times, not only me, there are so many other teachers who made videos on mnemonics on interleukins, and they, in the live classrooms also, face-to-face classes also, they keep on telling that, hey, interleukins is one topic inevitably going to come in the exam. Examiner asks the same. Interleukin 4. A child presents with thrombocytopenia, eczema, recurrent infections, sinopulmonary infections, Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome. Biscuit question. So many times we have discussed one of the primary immunodeficiency disorders inevitably comes in exam. Dijon syndrome, Young syndrome, Chediak-Higashi, chronic granulomatous disease, Wiskott-Aldrich. You have to be 100% sure. Selective IgA deficiency. Definitely one question is going to come. Examiner also has no other option. Now, duodenal biopsy, where the patient is showing crypt hyperplasia, villus atrophy in lamina propria. What is your diagnosis? Celiac disease. Classical question. What are the diets which are free in gluten, which are gluten containing diets? What do you see on the histopathology? And what are the serological antibodies in celiac disease? What will be the clinical presenting features, dermatological, etc. in celiac disease? Favorite question of the examiner. Many times in our full-scale grant tests and on this free live YouTube video discussions, we had a discussion. No rocket science. This is too much a biscuit question. Large, friable, irregular vegetations. How many times we have drawn both the sides of valve, which type of vegetations, which are large and friable vegetation. So many times we discussed. Infective endocarditis. If you look at the 953 topics list that I have given to you in the medicine, in the general medicine, in the top 20 topics you have infective endocarditis consistently without a failure. Tomorrow, when you go to the AIIMS PGI also, infective endocarditis, definitely one question. Duke's criteria, what are the major criteria? Examiner will give you the rot spots. He will ask you which is painful, which is painless. Is it Osler's node? Which is painful? Osler's node is painful. Which is an immunological phenomena? Everything, which is an embolic phenomena, everything you should know. So many times we discussed and reinforced the fact that we have to be sure on these 953 topics that I gave to you. Now, doctor, 35-year-old lady presents with a lump in the upper outer quadrant, and a histopathology slide was showing mucin faint nuclei of the colloidal carcinoma. Even from December 1st to January 4th, every day we had a grand test and a discussion on the same floor, on the same mic, on the same broadcast. Without a question on breast carcinoma, there is no question paper. You have to be very sure what are the prognostic findings in breast carcinoma, right? Everything we were anticipating, the question came. No big deal. Once more, you can check back the 953 high-yield topic list. Now, doctor, a lung of a chronic smoker shows columnar to stratified squamous epithelium. What is this called as? Metaplasia. Metaplasia. One type of epithelium translating into the other. The moment it develops hyperchromatic nuclei, dedifferentiation, that becomes the anaplasia. Right? You all agree? Very standard question. In fact, foreign medical graduate exam 2019, 2000 June, last 1 week में हम दिल लगा के डिस्कस किया, वहां भी सेम क्वेश्चन डिटो डिटो. So examiner has certain set standards to check in you. It is not that you know everything of each of the 19 books, right? So strategy, doctor, strategy, focus, discipline, and knowing in every topic 20 question, 20 points. If I scratch you, you should be able to regurgitate 20 points. Are you able to reach that point or not? That is very, very important. Okay, now a 25-year-old male, thyroid swelling, biopsy shows lymphocytic infiltration, along with the Hurtl cell, TSH is increased, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So those who had been regularly attending everyday evening with us, they killed a very good score. I'm so happy that I got an opportunity to inspire you guys, becoming a student every day along with you. Aquaporin 2 deficiency, come on. Not only me, there are any other coaching program gurus. Anybody will try to give you what are the common things, previously asked things, top things first. Any teaching, it's not that somebody has a magical portion. But the question is, who is able to inspire you? Who is able to inspire you to read every day? That is important, right? So, aquaporin 2 deficiency, nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. Feeding, starvation, insulin, glucagon, gluconeogenesis, glycogenolysis. Favorite question of the examiner. So many times we discussed. So obviously when you are insulin depleted, when will you be insulin depleted? If you eat well, you will have high insulin. If you are starved, you have low insulin. So you are insulin depleted का मतलब होता है you are starving. If you are starving, you need to produce glucose in your own body. Who will give you that glucose? It is a glycogen. How can you get create the glucose from glucose 6-phosphate? You have to break the glucose 6-phosphate. That is the reason glucose 6-phosphatase obviously will be typically active in the insulin depleted state is what you need to remember. So Goel is also saying, sir, many questions were direct. Any entrance book you read also, doctor, you will discover that these are all the things which are conquerable. There is nothing rocket science about it, right? So, but last 2 days, every time the phone rings and I have to sit with someone who is like utter depression, I have become like a professional chronic mourner. So that's the reason I thought by aaj morning ko khatam, we'll say goodbye to morning on this eve of Sankranti. Time that we emerge stronger and then restart the preparation in grandeur, with great hope, with focus, with design and crack the entrance within a short period of time. Don't look at NEET PG 2021. Have an immediate goal. Chalo bhai, AIIMS. Somebody will say, tu AIIMS जा रहे क्या? आप भी तो 120 marks भी नहीं आया, AIIMS जा रहे हैं बोल के some of the friends will tease us. But tell all those guys that Dr. Murali Bharadwaj told, you spend 3 months with me, if you don't crack the entrance exam, मेरा नाम मुरली भरद्वाज नहीं है बोल के बोलो, ठीक है? So you will win, provided you know what to stick, what to do the revision, without not much of running. That great teacher came, this great teacher came, teacher से आएगा जाएगा, tension नहीं है, right? हम कैसे पढ़ रहे? Are we getting inspired to read? Because everything is available in the book, in the common entrance books only, everything is available, right? Now, tyrosine kinase action, insulin, cheapest, easiest, biscuitest question. Peripheral smear is showing hypersegmented neutrophil. How many times we say? One single hypersegmented neutrophil also, that is vitamin B12 deficiency. कितने बार हमने बोला? One single cystocyte, that is an indicator of the hemolytic uremic syndrome and microangiopathic hemolysis, ongoing microangiopathic hemolysis, right, doctor? Without a question on acidosis, alkalosis, होता क्या नीट पीजी? नहीं होगा. कितने बार हमने ललकारा, right? Is it the correct word in Hindi? हमारा तो हैदराबाद निजामिया टूटे फूटे हिंदी है जो पेशेंस सिखाया हमको. ललकारा is a right word or wrong word? So what is the correct word? कितने बार हमने? We had been honking acid base disturbances, right? So pH 7.2 acidosis, and typically bicarb is low, metabolic, and PCO2 commensurately did not decrease. That means it is uncompensated metabolic acidosis, and typically that's the question of the examiner. Now vitamin K dependent clotting factor. अरे कितने बार हमने बोला 2, 7, 9, 10. Easy question. Any teacher will say that. No big deal. Nitrous oxide is synthesized. It is synthesized in arginine. It is synthesized from the arginine. Respiratory distress syndrome. It is defective in type 2 alveolar cell. Biscuit question. No big deal, right? So, where is the point in crying? Maybe crying is because इतना easy paper आया, इतना predictable paper आया, हमने क्यों जरा और serious नहीं क्यों हुआ बोल के most of the people are feeling guilt and sad. So that's the reason, doctor, let me tell you, don't expect too big or too tough an exam. It is a crackable, easy exam with 80% of stock things, right? So now, resection of the ileum, vitamin B12, even a little kid also will answer, right? Vitamin B12. Now, which part of fallopian tube fertilization occurs? ये तो चिल्लर में चिल्लर क्वेश्चन, राइट? एम्पुला में फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है. I doubt whether really did they give this question. Now, just one day before the exam, that video is there on the YouTube. We were talking about bulbar urethra, prostatic urethra, typically bulbar urethral rupture versus membranous urethral rupture. How will be the difference? We had been discussing, right? Prabhu Preet Singh is asking, sir, sorry to intercept. No, sorry. This session is meant. My shoulder is available for you to come and cry. I'm telling you, right? But don't say depressed. Depression ka aaj farewell hai, right? So, just a small query. How to find out high yield list for May AIIMS? Like the topics that are asked more and often in AIIMS. Very simple. Every year AIIMS is conducted 2 times, doctor. 2 into 200 kitna 400 questions hai na? 400 questions. 400 questions. Right? Into 15 years, 6,000 questions. Every question we have labeled which topic it belongs. And then brought all questions belonging to the same topic to one place and arranged it in the descending order and made it available. This 953 topic list I gave you, doctor. It is a comprehensive list based on 6 question banks. AIIMS, All India, PGI, JIPMA, DNB and FMGE. So there is a reason the same list, 953 that I gave you, is also applicable here. Right, doctor? And if you don't have that list, please do call 9000 868 356. Okay, doctor? 868 356. See, it is this modern time that all this coaching, bleaching programs have शुरू हुआ. 20 साल के पहले बार हमने हैदराबाद में 1999 में शुरू किया कोचिंग. उसके पहले everybody has to read themselves and then prepare for the exam. Honestly speaking, a बुरी आदत हमने शुरू किया, right? So, what I want to tell you is, even MBBS exams also, how do we pass anatomy? Past 15 years का question paper लेते हैं, भाई क्या है important questions, very important. भैया बोलो very important क्या है उसमें बोल के सीनियर को पूछते जो क्लियर किया है एग्जाम. वो टिक मार के देता, भाई ये पढ़ो, ये रखो, ये पढ़ो, ये बहुत अच्छा पढ़ो, right? So that is how we all pass the exam. Same strategy is even for NEET PG also, right? Now, histology of cerebellum में Purkinje cells. So always वो Purkinje का shape देखते ही बोलना. One of the image based question that we had in the discussion was ditto. Then elastic cartilage, hyaline cartilage. Anatomy में 8th or 9th favorite topic is cartilage types, right? Whether you go to FMGE, whether you go to AIIMS, DNB नहीं है, मर गया. But DNB का question bank ही FMGE और the national board का है. So that is the reason. What I am trying to tell you is one question on fibrocartilage, hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage. Fatafat like a parrot you must rattle out for the exam. Come on, doctor. ये तो डॉक्टर मुरली भरद्वाज स्टूडेंट होके कोई भी रॉन्ग नहीं करना. कितने बार डिस्कस किया, अभी भी है यूट्यूब में फ्री वीडियो. ब्रेन स्टेम सिंड्रोम्स, नॉर्थ नगल सिंड्रोम, वेबर सिंड्रोम, क्लॉड सिंड्रोम, right? Lateral medullary syndrome. So typically on the right side of the face there is a weakness. That means where is the facial nucleus located? It is located in the pons. समझ में आ गया? Then there is also loss of pain and temperature ipsilateral, because trigeminal will supply ipsilateral pain and temperature, whereas your anterolateral spinothalamic tract will bring the pain and temperature from the contralateral side. So opposite leg lost pain and temperature, that is lateral pons. Easy question, super easy, right? Now common hepatic artery branches. Come on, doctor. ये तो सीधा same question of FMGE exam also, foreign medical graduate exam also, right? One question, doctor, celiac artery, internal iliac artery, subclavian artery, carotid artery, उसके बिना एग्जाम हॉल एग्जामिनर होता क्या? नहीं होता. Easy, very easy. Now, midline swelling in the neck, 2 centimeter thyroid nodule, histology, orphan Annie appearance was given. देखो डॉक्टर, carcinoma thyroid. Can there be a question paper without that? Definitely they will ask one question on what is the oncogene associated with medullary carcinoma of thyroid, follicular carcinoma of thyroid में biopsy करना पड़ता, FNAC चलेगा नहीं, right? और childhood में radiation है तो which type of thyroid cancer will you get? I'm telling you, doctor, you should start a mini coaching program for your juniors after you get the seat, right? So they're all very crackable. JVP बच्चों को पढ़ा के लास्ट बेंच में बैठने वाले को भी करेक्ट आंसर मुंह से निकालना हमारा स्पेशलाइज्ड एक्सपर्टीज है भाई, right? So until the last bencher understood the JVP, I used to never leave the class. Such a favorite. Without JVP, there is no paper. हम यही मंच पर कितने बार बोले, right? So bulging of the tricuspid into atrium when the ventricle is contracting. At that time, actually, atrium was relaxing, but suddenly this back push will make slight rise of pressure. So in the X descent, you will have a slight rise of that pressure, which is called C wave, is what you need to remember. Water hammer pulse, collapsing pulse, Quincke's pulse. क्या होता है? Aortic regurgitation, early diastolic murmur. Early diastolic murmur, make the patient to lean forward, make him to hold the breath. And why hold the breath? Because aortic regurgitation's early diastolic murmur has the same frequency of the lung sounds. So that is to make the patient, भैया जरा रामैया 2 minute respiration hold करो बोल के डायफ्राम को इस्तेमाल करना. क्या इस्तेमाल करना डॉक्टर? बेल है, डायफ्राम है. So diaphragm is meant for what? Always diaphragm is meant for low amplitude, high frequency. Bell is meant for high amplitude, low frequency. So you have to put the diaphragm so tightly where in the second left intercostal space, which is called neo-aortic area, to listen the early diastolic rumble, a murmur of the aortic regurgitation. You should press it so tightly, लिटमेन का यल लग जाना पेशेंट के स्किन को उतना टाइट सुने तो रखे तो then you will listen the early diastolic murmur, right? So lap dap lap dap. So one question inevitably will come from MS, MR, AS, AR. That is our samchota. So doctor, examiner तो जैसे हमारा समझौता है वैसा ही पूछा. So there is nothing wrong. Only thing is some of us started a little late preparation, etc., etc. So some students always say, sir, about lately we came to know about you. Is there any other way that पूरा YouTube में हम we are flowing on the YouTube every day evening freely? So we are not hiding anywhere. We are not saying you pay the fee, then only you are my student. बोल के नहीं बोल रहे ना. So that is the reason. Let me once more reinforce, doctor. Goodbye to mourning. Re-emerge yourself stronger, right? and then show the world that I achieved the dream branch for which the God designed and created me to be born on this planet Earth. Will you promise me? Good. Where is my handkerchief? I lost all my handkerchiefs. Right? So let us make the great beginning, doctor, of the today's session. So every day 20-25 questions को हम review करेंगे. एकदम 300 करने में मजा नहीं है, because life is already sad. Let us not make it sadder by the recall. Now, doctor, good to see Nayamani and many more. Yes. Aorta. Now we are discussing the Foreign Medical Graduate Exam MCA screening test card, 10,000 questions here. Last 15 years. Tomorrow when you go to AIIMS PGI also, same question bank. Already on the onlinemmbbs.com you have, let me once more tell you, doctor, on the onlinemmbbs.com you have 30,000 MCQs based on 5 question banks. AIIMS, All India PGI, DNB, FMGE, 6 question banks. You have the questions organized into 953 topics, classified, made available as quizzes, PowerPoints, and the videos. 3,000 video lectures are there, 2 lakh PowerPoint slides are there for you to do the revision. And also be part of our WhatsApp study group. We will be challenging you every day and inspire you to study, right? And every day we have 2 hours of live online interactive broadcasted session. Of course, after the class is over, we remove the video and archive it in onlinemmbbs.com video library. And every Sunday we have a grand test and discussion. Every Saturday there is a subject test and discussion. In order to get the timetable of the same, please visit onlinemmbbs.com, and then whatever fee you can afford. We are not like the traditional coaching centers. Depending upon your affordability, you can pay more like a donation rather than a subscription fee, and be part of our cohort. Consume the online learning resources and emerge stronger every day with a better hope, instead of running here and there, oh, face-to-face class, this face-to-face class and all that. You have to have face-to-face of your own books, and the onlinemmbbs.com video library is more than enough. If you have YouTube, you have internet, you have smartphone, you have Dr. Murli with you to take you to become the topper. Now, doctor, superior epigastric artery is a branch of. So these are all FMGE question bank. There are 800 MCQs in the past 15 years, which predominantly fall into 40 topics in FMGE. So that we had been discussing. Already we finished 233 questions, right? Now, internal thoracic artery. So tell me, doctor, what are the branches of the internal thoracic artery? Pericardiophrenic, pericardial, musculophrenic, perforating, superior epigastric, sternal, anterior intercostal, and mediastinal. These are the branches of the internal thoracic artery. Examiner's question is, do you know superior epigastric is a branch of internal thoracic or not? Is the examiner's question. So typically the internal thoracic will be passing down like this, doctor, and it will be giving the various branches, and it arises from the subclavian is what you need to understand. One more favorite question of the examiner. Subclavian artery का branches क्या होता है? So you should be very sure that typically the subclavian will be emerging out, and it is giving rise to the internal thoracic artery, and it is in a very close relationship to the phrenic nerve, and internal thoracic in turn giving rise to pericardiophonic, anterointercostal, phrenic branches, musculophrenic branches, superior epigastric anastomosis with inferior epigastric. Now look, first branch of arch of aorta is the favorite question of the examiner. Obviously brachiocephalic. So typically brachiocephalic emerges on the right side, and that divides into right subclavian and right common carotid. On the left side, there is a left common carotid, left subclavian separately. Which are the branches of the arch of aorta? Now tell me, doctor, arch of aorta begins and ends at which vertebral level? Wake up from sleep and answer this question. Arch of aorta begins and ends at which vertebral level? Who is going to give me the correct answer? What is the anatomical level? We already discussed that question, right? Very good. Manish rightly answers T4 is what we should remember. Which is a direct branch of the abdominal aorta? Testicular artery is a direct branch. Now, if you look at the descending abdominal aorta branches, from the diaphragm towards iliacs, ultimately descending aorta become what? The common iliac divides into internal and external iliac. So what are all the branches? First phrenic, celiac, then superior mesenteric, suprarenal, then renal, in case of the men, testicular, then lumbar, then inferior mesenteric, finally sacral. So these are all the direct branches coming from the descending abdominal aorta. Once more, this is one favorite question of the examiner, doctor. Which level, which branches are arising? Examiner is going to ask you, L1 ke level pe kya hai, L2 ke level, L3 level, L4 level. At what level that bifurcation occur? You should be very sure on this particular slide. Now look, superior mesenteric artery supplies what? It supplies it supplies ascending colon. So if you look at rectum, anus, how is the blood supply? There is one superior rectal artery, middle rectal artery, inferior rectal artery. So you should remember, from the internal iliac artery is arising the middle rectal artery. Then from the internal pudendal artery, what is arising? Inferior rectal artery. Inferior rectal artery is arising from internal pudendal artery. Okay, so that is very, very important to remember. So internal iliac artery is the one which is giving rise to middle and superior. Internal pudendal is giving rise to inferior rectal, is what I want to reinforce to all of you. Now doc, superior mesenteric artery है ना, इसका branches क्या होता है? Inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery, duodenum को supply करेगा. Jejunal, ileal, ileocolic, right colic, mid colic. From the ileocolic comes the appendicular artery. This is the favorite MCQ of the examiner. Appendicular artery is a branch of, you are going to answer, ileocolic artery. Ileocolic artery. Okay, doc. Now you can also see once more the inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Then you are having middle colic artery, right colic artery, iliocolic artery, and jejunal branches. They are all emerging from the superior mesenteric artery, which is a direct branch of the aorta, is what you should basically remember. Now, the right 2/3 of the transverse colon, ascending colon, they are the ones which are supplied by superior mesenteric artery. Favorite MCQ of examiner. You'll remember, right? So, doctors, once upon a time it all used to be face-to-face class. Now the modern trend is learn anytime, anywhere, recorded video lectures and live online. But always from then till now, one tradition did not change. You need to have your own 200 pages notebook. The one which you should not forget, you should never forget. You need to make a note of it and use it in the last moment before exam. Be very sure, right? Now, what are the branches of the celiac trunk? So you can see that this is the celiac trunk. From this, the common hepatic artery. That is what NEET PG 2020 bath. So you can see there is a right gastric artery, then gastroduodenal artery here, pancreatico-duodenal artery, right gastroepiploic artery, left gastroepiploic artery coming from splenic artery. Okay, and the right gastroepiploic coming from the gastroduodenal artery, which is coming from the common hepatic artery. So you have to be very sure on all these areas. And once more, from the celiac trunk is arising the left gastric artery also is what you should remember. So once more, doctor, before we say goodbye to SMA, what are the branches? Inferior pancreatico-duodenal, middle colic, right colic, iliocolic, jejunal, ilial branches, and from the iliocolic is arising the anterior cecal, posterior cecal and appendicular artery. Like a parrot, you should rattle out in the tomorrow's exam. Acha bhaiya, what are the branches of inferior mesenteric artery? Jara dekh lenge. You should remember left colic artery, right colic superior mesenteric se aata, left colic artery, sigmoidal branches, superior rectal artery, they are all originating from the inferior mesenteric artery is what you have to basically remember. Now doctor, uterine artery is the branch of, uterine artery is the branch of the anterior division of the internal iliac artery. Keep punching the answers, doctor. Right. योगेश बोल रहे हैं आराम करो थोड़ा सा. Yeah. So हमारे लिए तो next batch of students and the last batch students who are preparing for the AIIMS it is the next interesting game once more. What keeps us younger is as the newer and newer students come and as we keep getting good news that somebody is stopping the entrance exam, that is the most motivating factor for a teacher. So that is the reason I always thank you. With a simple notification, you will all join the online class. I am so happy. So doctor, What is a naughty mnemonic about internal iliac artery, doctor? I love going places in my own underwear, right? I होता है iliolumbar. I is iliolumbar. L, lateral sacral. These are all the branches of the internal iliac. G, gluteal, both superior and inferior gluteal. P, pudendal, internal pudendal. I, inferior vesicle. In case of the females, vaginal branch, vaginal artery. M, middle rectal artery. V, vaginal artery. O, obturator artery. U, umbilical and uterine artery. The branches of the internal iliac. Another favorite question of the examiner, क्या है doctor? The iliolumbar, lateral sacral and superior gluteal. Iliolumbar, lateral sacral, superior gluteal. They are the branches of posterior division. You can remember slip. So S is superior gluteal, L is the lateral sacral, I is iliolumbar. They are the posterior division of the internal iliac artery. That is what you have to be very sure about. So iliolumbar, superior vesicle, obturator artery, lateral sacral, superior gluteal, inferior gluteal, internal pudendal, middle rectal, uterine artery, vaginal artery, inferior vesical artery, artery to ductus deferens. All these branches of the internal iliac is what you should remember. Paraduodenal recess is associated with inferior mesenteric vein. So you all know that this is the duodenum, and there is a paraduodenal fold. It is a recess in peritoneum. It lies left to either spleen right, so left, either liver, so right. So typically it lies left to the fourth part of duodenum, and its free margin में आपको मिलेगा inferior mesenteric vein is what you need to remember. So this is jejunum, this is the duodenum, fourth part ending into jejunum. Left of that you have this fold which is called the fossa of Langerhans. So here paraduodenal recess रहता, वहाँ inferior mesenteric vein रहता, और यहाँ fossa of Waldeyer. That is the point where you are having superior mesenteric vein. समझ में आ गया ना? Fourth part of the duodenum becomes jejunum, and to the left of that here you have a mesenteric fold leading to a fossa of Langerhans, and there you have the inferior mesenteric vein is what you need to remember. Once more, this is the fourth part of duodenum, this is jejunum. Then here you are having the superior duodenal fossa. Through that is passing the inferior mesenteric vein. Then you have a mesenterico-parietal fossa of Waldeyer, and superior mesenteric artery and vein are passing close proximity with that. This is the three-dimensional orientation that you need to basically have. Now once more, second part, third part, fourth part. Fourth part के बाजू में क्या रहता? You have a retroduodenal recess. Then you have an inferior duodenal recess, superior duodenal recess. This is the inferior mesenteric vein, and this is the paraduodenal recess. So examiner's interest is whether you know or not that the inferior mesenteric vein is the one which is associated. The right gastroepiploic artery, what is it a branch of? It is a branch of the gastroduodenal artery. So celiac trunk को कितने बच्चे हैं? Left gastric artery, splenic artery, common hepatic artery. From the splenic artery निकलेगा, या है ना, splenic artery से निकलेगा short gastric vessels, left gastroepiploic and pancreatic arteries. Whereas the common hepatic artery se niklega hepatic artery proper, from which comes the gastroduodenal artery, and the gastroduodenal becomes the source for the right gastroepiploic artery. Left gastric epiploic artery coming from splenic artery. Okay, doc? So this is the spleen. And there are multiple small vessels called short gastric vessels. There is the splenic artery, which will be giving rise to the left gastroepiploic. Then there is the right gastroepiploic, which is coming from the gastroduodenal artery, which is coming from the typically celiac trunk is the grandpa for all these things. Internal pudendal artery, what does it give rise to? So these are all favorite FMGE examiner ka favorite questions, doctor. Inferior rectal artery is a branch of internal pudendal. Abhi padha na humne. So if you look at the internal iliac artery, it has an anterior division, posterior division. Posterior division says slipper. Superior gluteal, lateral sacral, lumbar. Anterior division say uterine, obturator, internal pudendal, umbilical, vesical, middle rectal, vaginal, inferior gluteal. Then internal pudendal artery. Pudendal is all about genitalia, right? So in the males, what does it give rise to? Inferior rectal arteries, two scrotal arteries, artery of the bulb, deep artery of the penis, dorsal artery of the penis. They're all the branches of the internal pudendal in male. Whereas in female, inferior rectal arteries, instead of scrotal you have labial arteries, artery of the bulb, deep artery of clitoris instead of penis, and dorsal artery of clitoris instead of penis. So they are the branches of the internal pudendal artery is what you should remember. Uterine artery is a branch of anterior division of the internal iliac artery. Right? So that's what you should remember. So doctor, today I thought of taking a brief session. Goodbye to Mourning. Welcome to AIIMS PGI 2020. We are starting the journey to conquer. Please tell your friends, your classmates, your juniors to join the online MBBS.com video library and also to the YouTube channel so that you get the notifications, become the part of the WhatsApp study group. Enjoy a wonderful evening, doctor. This is the last month of winter. And a great winter you should all celebrate, right? Good night, and once more, keep tuned with youtube.com/online MBBS channel, and we will all catch up. Good night.